Okay, again, the exercise number one, the books, dots is the conflict between love and duty. We said theme. The number two, the dots was so complicated that I was totally confused by the time I was two chapters in. We said plot. And there are obvious benefits in allowing each student to go at his own pace. Number four, Ahmad was A or N dots in the linen factory of his uncle, Weaver. Number five, you will be glad to hear that Ralph and I, with my father's consent, are dots to be married. We say engaged. At last, astronomers have dots the mystery of the rings encircling the planet Saturn, solved the mystery. And number seven, no one has ever been able to explain the dots of Bermuda Triangle, the mystery. And number eight, I felt so dots. Do you see? Yet I felt so angry with myself for feeling that way. I felt so guilty. Number nine, drugs won't make the pain dots altogether, but they will help. Drugs won't make the pain disappear. Number 10, I have had a remarkable life, says the 60-year-old author, who has dots 35 books, who has published 35 books. Number 11, dots between people of different cultures are often extremely difficult. Dots, relationships between people. Number 12, we must put money into the sport if we want to create the tennis dots of the future, the tennis legends. Number 13, we dots the pizza into three and had a slice each. We divided the pizza. Let's go to the grammar part. In a hurry. Today's grammar is talking about certainty and deduction. We have must for sure, can't for negative sure, and may and might. Number one, must. We use must when I see the word I'm sure, I'm certain, I think, certainly, I believe, I imagine, and means it's totally I am sure. Okay? And in the past, I use must have plus pp. We have the word can't plus infinitive in present to express the negative sure or the negative certainty. Okay, and in the past we use can't have plus pp. And when we don't know the real truth, we are not sure or we are not certain, perhaps, probable, likely, we use may, okay, to express something we don't know at all or we are not sure. He may be a teacher, maybe yes or maybe no. And in the past we use may have plus pp. And the last one might, okay, we use might to express that I'm not sure, I'm very not sure, totally I'm not sure, I am hesitated. We use might when we see very not sure, really not sure, very not certain, it's possible, I don't think so, I don't believe. And in the past, we use might have plus pp. So again, we use must to express something we are very sure about it, and can't to express something we are very sure about it but in negative. Okay? And we use may when we are not sure, and might when you are very not sure. Okay? Let's practice. Number one, he dots L. He eats like a horse. So he is very sure, I am very sure that he is ill. He eats like a horse, so he can't be ill. Okay, I'm very sure that he can't be ill. Number two, he does taken the early train. I'm really not sure. Here there is a mistake. It must be, or he might be, or he might have taken the early train. This choice is not exists. So number one, we said he can't be. Number two, he might have taken. Okay. We have some expressions. Make cloth, solve a mystery, live alone, have an accident, earn money, get a good grade, feel sorry for, feel confused, looks pale and thin, do a lot of practice, finish reading, enjoy mystery stories, adopt a girl, work better as, got engaged, was made by, see the world outside, lived lonely lives, avoid people, go wrong, die in a round, where Cleopatra lies, since that time, take photos of a distance. Okay, let's do some exercises. Number one, the book's dots is a conflict between love and duty. It's a theme, the main idea. Number two, the dots was so complicated that I was totally confused by the time I was I was two chapters in. The plot. There are obvious benefits in allowing each student to go at his own pace. So again, we said my job is a teacher, okay, and my work is to teach, okay, and we have other than, rather than, and otherwise. Rather than means except. The form cannot be signed by anyone other than yourself, or the exam cannot be signed by anyone other than the headmaster, okay? We have the rather than means instead of. I think I'd like to stay at home this evening rather than go out. Or I can use instead of going out. Instead of plus verb ing or gerund. And the last one otherwise means except also you will have to go now or otherwise you will miss your bus. So I can't say otherwise equals or you will have to go now or you will miss your bus. Okay. We have three words. We have adapt, adopt, and adapt. Adapt means to be familiar with a place. All people find it difficult to adapt to life in a foreign country, to be familiar with a new place. For example, you will move to a new house, so you take about 1 week or more to adapt the new house. Okay, we have the word adopt with the O. The police are adopting more merciful methods. Adopt means, for example, when I take a boy from orphans, okay, and I adopt him means to be in charge of him or be responsible for him, okay. We have the word, the last one, adept. He is very adept at driving a car equals clever. He is very good or he is clever at driving. So we have adapt, to be familiar with a place, adopt, to be in charge of something, and we have the word adept, to be clever. We have sleep, sleepy, asleep, and fast asleep. Sleep means, as we know, to go on or to have a dream. Okay, I always sleep at 12. Sleepy, it's adjective. While I was watching the film, I felt sleepy. I was very sleepy. Asleep, the baby is asleep. He is already sleeping. And fast asleep, he is deeply asleep. He is fast asleep, he doesn't move. He is very, very, very tired. So he is fast asleep. And sleeping, it is a noun, okay? Or for things like when I say the train has sleeping rooms, that means that rooms are specially for sleeping, okay? We have the word work with some prepositions. We have work on something, okay, to fix or to build something. Work on someone, okay, to persuade this person. Work in or into, to make something. Work out, to practice, like in the gymnastics. Work up, okay, to improve, okay. We have work himself up, to annoy something or to annoy himself. When I say don't work yourself up, means don't annoy yourself. Work for, for example, I work for PLS language school, or we have work in someone's, to work for a person, okay, or to benefit someone. We have also prepositions: in a hurry, take care of, married to, guilty of, care about, compare to, return to, sorry about, bring back, part of, manage to, happen to, run away, look after, follow, on a farm, come from, for a holiday, on the coast, die in, and in the north of. We have some definitions. We have disappear, guilty, mystery, solve, engaged, weaver, pace, page turner, plot, theme. We have disappear means to become impossible to find. Guilty means a person who did something bad. Mystery, something unknown. Solve, to find the answer. Engaged, to be in a relationship, to get married. Weaver, a person who makes cloth. Pace, how fast the story moves. Page turner, a book which is very exciting. Plot, the story of a book, the main idea, okay? Theme, the idea or moral. We have some language notes. The difference between hard as adjective and as adverb, and hardly. We have hard, like the example, we have iron is a hard material. It's an adjective, okay? There were a lot of hard questions in the exam. He is a hard student. So that's hard as an adjective. We have hard as an adverb. He studies hard. So here hard explains the way he studies, okay? He works hard. That's the same meaning. And we have finally the word hardly. Hardly equals almost no, and it's also an adverb. And it usually comes after could or can, and before ever or any. Like the examples, I could hardly hear her at the back. That means I can't hear her. I almost can't hear her. We hardly ever go to concerts. And I have hardly any money left. That meaning equals the negative. Okay? We have alone and lonely. Alone means something for things, not for people. Okay? He carried the stone alone. So he means he carried only the stone without anything. Okay? So alone describes things, and lonely describes person. Despite his friends, he feels lonely. So lonely talking about persons, and alone talking about things. Okay? We have the word find and found. Find as a verb means to find something. Researchers are hoping to find a cure for the disease, like coronavirus. They are hoping to find a cure. Okay? And we have the word found. The past of find, okay, means to find also, and another meaning found in present with another meaning at all. The town was founded by English settlers. Okay, we hear the word found means to establish something or to build. Okay, we have also steal and rob. Steal means to take something from your pocket. For example, when you go to somewhere and you get in a bus and the thief stole my bag, for example, so he took my bag without any knowledge from me. I didn't find or I didn't notice him. And rob means to steal a place, not a person. So steal for persons and rob for places, and it usually was weapons. A gang robbed the bank yesterday. They should use or they must use weapons to rob the bank. So steal for person and rob for places. Okay, we have robbed somebody or rob something of somebody. They robbed him of his money, also with weapon. So the word rob equals steal, but with weapon. Okay. We have work and job. Work means the whole job you work, or the noun. I have got a lot of work to do. تمام. We have Mr. Ahmed leaves work at 2 o'clock. Okay, so we here talking about the main noun. Do you know how to work? So the mean work, the word work means the noun. Okay, and the job, it's only the job. He has got a job as a teacher. So my job is a teacher, and my work is to teach. The only thing he cares about in his work as a weaver. All Silas wants to do is work as hard as he can to earn as such money as he can. The richest man in Reveille, Squire Cass, has two sons, Dunstan and Godfrey. The two sons have their own problems, which they hide from their father, and they always want to have more money. One night, a bag of gold is stolen from Silas' house, and the whole village joins in to look for it. The local people feel sorry for him and are more friendly to him. Silas is angry and wants to solve the mystery. One evening, Silas returns to his cottage and finds a small girl sleeping near the fireplace. The girl is cold and hungry. Silas thinks something must have happened to her parents. They might have had an accident. He decides to look after her. He calls her Epi. The other people in the village are surprised, but they think that Silas can't be a bad person because he wants to look after the girl. They also help him. Silas is now happier. He realizes that his new daughter is more important to him than gold. When Epi is 18, Silas' good is found and returned to him. It was Dunstan who took the money all those years ago, because he didn't want to ask his father for money. Godfrey is sorry about what his brother did and thinks Silas must be angry with him. And his wife offered to look after Epi. However, Epi wants to stay with Silas. Silas decides to return to his old village with Epi. He wants to prove that he wasn't guilty of stealing all those years earlier. When he arrives, he finds that everything has changed and he can't find anyone that he used to know. Silas feels that he can now forget about his unpleasant part of his history, and he returns happily to Reveille. I had we have a snail. I had to read Snail's Silas Marner when I was at school, and I didn't enjoy it very much then. However, I have just finished reading it again, and I liked it a lot more. It's a long book, although it isn't as long as Eliot's other books. The pace was quite fast, and the plot is full of surprises. I couldn't stop reading because I really wanted to know what was going to happen to these wonderful characters. I'd recommend this book to anyone who enjoys mystery stories. We have Nadia. This is a very interesting story of a sad and lonely man who finds happiness when he adopts a girl. It isn't a page turner, but I like the way Eliot used the theme of community. She shows us how some people, like Silas, can feel like they don't belong to their community, but events can bring them back into it. However, I think the novel is too long. The story of Silas Marner might have worked better as a short story rather than a novel. Good morning, everyone. Today we'll talk about Unit 12, hard work. We have some vocabularies. Okay, let's start. Novel means a long story. Okay, we have the word confused equals word. and practice equals, for example, train, okay, publish, uncomfortable, okay, recommend, pace, okay, and weaver. And we have the page turner, mystery, moral, and plot. Actions, surprise, theme. Theme means the topic or the main idea of the topic. And we have the word wonderful, relationship, cottage, lonely, fireplace, happens, empty, adopt, care, Sakara bird, community, treasure, rather than, and we have gold, unpleasant, abandon, customers, warehouse, local, cloth. Cloth means the material of clothes, and we have the word unknown, respect, abundant, competition, share, great, recently, equally, divide, ensure, legend, puzzle, lady, and pale. Pale means with a yellow face. And we have trust, traditional, provide, bury, archaeologist, prove, and minister. We have extra vocabularies. We have carpet, earn, right, village, and we have offer, join, possibility, writer, whole, happiness, impossible, fisherman or fisherman, get married, machines, was gone, a bag of, realized, countryside or the country, the same meaning. Seriously, salt, stones, hide, island, and we have the letter S silent. It's a island. Okay. We have watch, early years, manage, look like, mother, change, strange, review, structure, describe, and description. We have also the other vocabularies. We have take place equals happen, accident, stay up, instead, steal, cafeteria, fairs, time equals era or period. We have north, distant, pirate, absent, shape, and souvenir. We have some translation words like a historic right, irrigation, traditional share, water sharing agreement, the upstream countries, the downstream countries, and the mother of life and death. We have desertification and apparent contradiction, educate, water supplies. The Nile Basin countries exclude by peaceful means, by diplomatic means, solar system, and food shortage. Okay, now we will start the reading text. Our reading text is talking about Selah's Marner. Selah's Marner is a weaver who lives in a village of Rivoli in England. The other people in the village aren't very friendly to Selah's because he is new to the village and he lives alone. 15 years earlier, Selah's had been engaged to be married to a girl called Sarah. One day, while Sellers was taking care of a friend who was sick, a bag of money disappeared from under the friend's bed. A man called William Dean finds the empty bag, and Sellers' friend decides that he is guilty of stealing the money. Later, William marries Sarah instead, and Sellers decided to move to the village of Rivoli. The only thing he cares about is his work as a weaver. All Sellers wants to do is work as hard